In today's short analysis video, we will discuss on Microsoft Corporation stock. My dear friends, this stock is currently on a verge of breakdown because this stock is trading near to an important support level. And if that support level get break on the closing basis, then we could see a massive downside corrections. So my dear friends, if you are on the buy position on this stock, if you're on the buy side of Microsoft Corporation stock, be watch out, be caution, because there is a probability that stock may give you a deep downside correction. And my dear friends, there are multiple negative factors which has already been materialized, and that would allow us to capitalize and short sell position. We can initiate a short sell position before a massive downside correction get trigger. My dear friends, if you'll make a closer look over here, this was a bottom where the stock had started the stock, where this was a bottom where the stock had given a massive upside rally in the form of upper parallel channel and upper sloping parallel channel. And as long as the stock was trading under this parallel channel, the stock got triggered with back to back higher highs. If you'll notice, first higher high is registered here, the second higher high is registered here, and the third higher rise is here. But as soon as this upper sloping parallel channel got trigger on the downside, first time its higher high sequence shifted to lower lows, and this is an point where the game started to change. This is an point where we got a two major negative signal. The first negative signal is upper sloping parallel channel got broken down on the downside. And according to the technical analysis, whenever the upper sloping parallel channel get break on the downside, the very first thing you have to do is you have to book your profits. If you are on a short term position, if you are a short term traders and you are in the profit and you find your parallel channel got trigger on the downside, immediate you have to protect your short term profits, because this stock will going to give you a big downside correction. So the first major negative signal is upper sloping parallel channel got trigger on the downside. The second negative signal is higher highs shifted to lower lows on closing basis, and that give us a confirmation that stock is officially under correction. Now no more bull side rally. Be ready for a bear attack. And my dear friends, if you'll put the if you'll put the RSI, if you put the diversion over here, you will be surprised to notice that even the diversion, it's showing you the negative diversion. If I'll put the RSI over here, the relative strength index, and if you'll compare the higher high peak of price action with the higher high peaks of RSI, you will find there is a negative diversion. If you'll see, the price action is flat, it's flat or it's tilted on the upper side, but the same thing if you'll notice on the RSI, it's tilting on the downside. So this is a negative diversion between the price action and RSI indicators. Our price action is showing the flat and RSI is showing tilting on the downside. So this is a major negative diversion which is showing that stock is in the no mood of going further upside. It's wanton downside correction. And my dear friends, now we will discuss the fourth major and important my major and most important negative signal, and that will be the chart pattern. If you'll make a closer look over here, you will able to identify a negative chart structure. But my dear friends, you have to, if you'll see over here, you will be able to identify there is a double top pattern. If you'll see, this is a top one, we call it has a double top pattern. But my dear friends, the stock haven't broken down from this neckline. You have to wait, and then once you have to wait for a stock to close below this white neckline, you have to wait for the stock to get close below 494. This level, this 494, you have to wait for one red candle to close below this neckline, and then you will see the massive downside getting intensified. So my dear friends, this is a very important. Don't go blindly short this stock. Don't blindly short the stock. You have to wait for a confirmation with a red candle closing below the neckline. Once you get a red candle with high volume closing below the neckline, then it will be a perfect spot for a short sell, and you will get a big momentum on the downside. And now the target, the first target will be $435, and there is another most probability the stock may come down to fill the gap. There is a gap at $397. Though so the stock may come down to fill the gap of $397. But when once its neckline get break, unless and until the neckline get won't get trigger, the stock is on the safer side. But once the neckline get trigger, be ready for a big downside move. And my dear friends, as according to the Elliott wave, if you'll see over here, there is one more pattern, and that we call it as an, if you'll see over here, you will be able to identify there is a pattern which we call it as an, this is an rising wedge, or it's a terminal triangle impulse. We call it as a terminal triangle impulse. And if you'll see that there is a 5 internal waves, and there's a 5 internal waves, and this is an important supportive trend line. So this trend line, the important support trend line, got break on the downside. So according to the Elliott wave pattern, that we call it as a terminal triangle impulse, got broken down. So this is one more kind of negative signal, that even the Elliott wave chart pattern is symbolizing the negative factors. And my dear friends, so far we have identified the 4 major negative signal. So once you will get this, once you will get this neckline get trigger on the downside, this area will act as an important resistance. So far it's in support, but once it's get trigger on the closing basis on downside, then the support will get into an important resistance, because multiple negative factors got trigger over here. Here, this is an area where we have seen the upper sloping parallel channel got trigger on the downside. This was an area where we have identified the higher highs shifted to lower lows. This is an area where we have seen the negative diversion between the RSI and the price action. And this is an area where we have seen the negative chart structure, double top pattern, almost ready. All we have to do is, all we have to wait for a neckline to get break on the downside. The moment it will get break, even the negative chart pattern will get trigger, and then there will be a big downside momentum. So my dear friends, if you really like my analysis, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more such analysis. Thank you. Bye bye.